Unbeaten Victorian lightweight champion Graeme Porky will use tomorrow night's fight against Korean Kyung-Hwan Chae as a good hit-out before he takes on Commonwealth title holder Claude Noel in October. 20-year-old Porky has had 9 knockouts in his 17 successful fights, will have his work cut out against the 24-year-old Korean opponent who has the envious record of 20 fights, 19 wins and 14 knockouts. Porky, who earlier this year suffered appendicitis and subsequently has only had one other fight this year, is raring to go, and trainer Jack Rennie is confident that Porky can overcome his taller opponent. How does Graeme look this time up?
Very sharp, Eddie, very sharp. He's had a lot of good training, a lot of good sparring, and I don't think I've seen him in better condition. And he'll need it because he's in for a hard fight.
After tomorrow night, where does Graeme go from there?
Well, he's going to fight for the Commonwealth lightweight title, and then hopefully we'll get into the top 10 of the world and head towards the big one.
Tonight's fight is also significant in that it holds the return of boxing to Melbourne's original House of Stoush, Festival Hall. It'll be the first fight held there in almost 2 years. Now 20, Graeme Porky is one of the best prospects in Australian boxing since the halcyon days of Lionel Rose and Johnny Famersham. He's undefeated in 17 fights, won 10 inside the distance, and is ranked 20 in the world by the WBC. He's expecting a tough 10-rounder.
It's a big test for me. To come over with a big reputation. I lost one fight, and I'm expecting a really tough fight. I have to win tonight, and if I win, I'll be fighting Claude Noel on October 6th for the Commonwealth title.
Graham's last fight, however, was back on the 6th of June. He knocked out Mexico's Juan Escobar in 5 rounds, but is the recent lack of boxing going to worry him at all?
Not really, Peter. I've been training straight after the Escobar fight. I've been training and keep myself in good shape.
What sort of work have you been doing?
I've been doing a lot of running 8 miles a day for the last 6 weeks, and a lot of hard sparring.
Finally off Graeme Porky. After winning his 18th straight fight last night, trainer Jack Rennie announced Porky would fight for the Commonwealth lightweight title next month, his first try at the big time.
Both fighters exchanged a number of successful combinations, but by round 8, the unbeaten Victorian had bloodied his opponent's nose and opened up a cut above the Korean's left eye. Porky won the fight on a unanimous points decision and will now return to Festival Hall on October 6th to fight Claude Noel of Trinidad for the Commonwealth lightweight title.
We did see a few flaws tonight in his make-up, and he's only had one fight this year. That was his second. So we're going back to the drawing board. We'll have a lot of work to do before the Noel fight, but fortunately we can study Noel. We've got tapes of him, whereas we didn't know about this Korean. So he's served it up very well for us.
The shorter Porky had trouble with his opponent's awkward stance in the early rounds and landed few telling punches. The Korean was proving a difficult rival for Porky, who finally broke out of his shell near the end of round 4. But any expectations the crowd may have had for a knockdown were quickly allayed. The tall Korean wouldn't give in, and in fact was giving out as much as he took. The fight lasted the full 10 rounds, with the crowd well and truly behind Porky in the last. As it turned out, that was enough to spur the Melburnian on to victory on a points decision and further stake his claim for Barry Michael's Australian lightweight title.